Great. Thanks, everyone. I'll give you a little update on Nevada play that we have out here. It's a gold play that's open pit. Currently, right now, about 3.6 million ounces contained in pit. Our shareholder base is pretty chunky. It sits here with Anglo Gold at 19.8, Tocqueville at 19.7%, Van Eck at 9.6%, and our management group at about 7%. 111 million shares out. Corvus is a bit unique. We've never done a bank financing, never done a brokered financing, never issued a warrant. So we're a little unique from the standpoint of a Canadian junior, and have really financed through private placement with key institutional and high net worth type investors. The asset's about a 2-hour drive north of Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Walker Lane. It currently encompasses 4 open pits that we have design work on and are currently pursuing a resource expansion drilling program on those. This is an area of Nevada with most of the mineralization a bit younger than the typical Carlin trend that we see up in north central Nevada. The district itself is very prolific. It's had 3 main gold events that all encompass at least 2 million ounces of either historic production or current resource in those gold events, and they're overlapping, and so it's made for a very high potential for discovery in the area. We first started doing aggressive exploration in this area in 2012. Made initially 3 discoveries in the North Bullfrog area, and then in 2017 we acquired the Lode project from Goldcorp, did a drilling program there, announced the first resource on that last September at 1.4 million ounces, so that's a great new discovery of ours, and we're expanding that right now with some resource expansion drilling. We should update that resource around year-end time and look at a fully integrated pit that would encompass probably another 500,000 ounces or so in that deposit. We'll take a quick look. This is a flyby of the main mineralized belts. The first one is the Fluorspar Canyon Fault Zone. There's a number of small deposits here which Coeur is working on called the Daisy area. And then you come up and the main fault system turns to the north, goes in through our Lode project and the SNA project to the south, which is Coeur's. And then we come back and we'll look at Anglo Gold's project. It's a new discovery they have called Silicon. This project is being very aggressively drilled by Anglo Gold right now. It looks like that they'll be developing what could be a sizable deposit at Silicon. It's been well noted by their CEO, and certainly their interest in Corvus Gold at 19.9% of us as another advantage they have with the district. The Jasperoid project you see there is one that we're currently drilling now. It's an open pit oxide heap leach target, and so far the initial drilling looks quite favorable there. So we'll move on to the next. Have another quick look at Lode, which is a unique new deposit for the Walker Lane. It's a sediment-hosted deposit, more like we would find at the Carlin trend. This is the core deposit that was in our PEA that we announced in November, and that project looks quite favorable, quite good grade, about 1.8 grams a ton, and open pittable. The first 4 years of this project are quite productive. It produces about 350,000 ounces a year for the first 4 years and then drops about 220,000 ounces. So this is an important project for us, and we're currently doing exploration drilling off in that direction there, which is west and to the north, and have had some very good results. You'll see more of those in the press coming out here in the next few weeks as we continue to put out results from the resource expansion program that we have for that project. We can look at North Bullfrog, which incorporates 3 different deposits. One called Mayflower, which is about 100,000 ounce, quite good grade deposit, shallow at surface. Jolly Jane, about 250,000 ounces in this deposit, another heap leach open pit deposit. Sierra Blanca Yellow Jacket with a vein system at Yellow Jacket that looks quite good. It has an open pit grade of about 1.7 grams a ton, surrounded by a large low-grade system we call Sierra Blanca. And we're currently doing some drilling on the northern extension of this Yellow Jacket deposit and looking to extend that off to the north. Most of all this material in the North Bullfrog area would be heap leach, and so it would go to a heap leach complex that we're proposing to build off in the flats off to the northwest of the current deposit here now. And we'll move on here. This is Mother Lode. The original, the yellow dash line is where the original resource is from. The black dash line is our step out or resource expansion drilling that we've just completed here a couple of weeks ago. And then this will form the new area of mineralization that we bring into the resource update for this project. Really attractive, interesting exploration opportunities. This thing called Jasperoid, which sits just on the southern extension of our Sierra Blanca deposit. It's about 1 kilometer long. It's a thrust carbonate type system, so it's more like a sediment hosted system we'd find in north central Nevada or like our Mother Lode deposit. We've just put in the very first holes into that. It looks like there's a nice zone of mineralization underneath the thrust, which is the typical mineralizing environment we see here in Nevada for these type of deposits. So we should have news out on that by early July. And if that's positive, we'll be back following this up with a regular resource development grid drill program that goes on here. One thing to keep in mind, Corvus is about $5.5 million in our treasury now. That fully funds our next 12 months of exploration work. So Corvus is fully funded for the next year and will allow us to get out and test a number of these exploration targets like Jasperoid and what we call the Eastern Bullfrog targets. So that we're able to go out and see what other opportunities exist in the area. With Anglo's new discovery and their ownership of Corvus, Corvus is probably much more of a transaction type story than it is anything else right now. Anglo is quite aggressive in the district, and so we anticipate being able to ultimately at some point in time be able to partner up with Anglo on the joint development of the overall district. And I think that's going to be very important for our shareholders, taking a lot of risk out of the mine development phase of things with a known mine builder and mine operator to be involved with us. So that'll be a good outcome for us, I think. And we look at some transactions that were done recently with Coeur, and those were pretty highly valued, so we're optimistic about the future for us here. So in essence, this is the investment thesis for us. Good management team from a standpoint of discovery. We've got a great asset to start with. The PEA numbers have come out to be quite positive. And now we're looking at being able to really expand this district into what we believe it's ultimately going to be, which is one of these 10 million ounce type districts in Nevada. And that's it. So I don't know if I have any time for questions, but pretty quick here. Okay, well, great. Thank you all for listening. And if you have any questions, we have our booth over here in the hall next door.